What is going on? I'm Zedmod. Season 52 of Warships is here, and needless to say, Dr. Kavan has not gone electric. These warships run on nothing but diesel fuel. Anyways, we are going to throw code Zedmod into that shop because that is what gets you the bestest of the sneak peeks. We are clearly on the dev build. Somehow that black smoke from the warships have cleared and we can see that we're on the dev build. Season 52 is here. The Doctor's Vacation. Now, that is not the name that was advertised, I don't think. Some quick notes about Season 52. Dr. Kavan is gone, and he has taken his warriors with him. He has, however, made sure that replacement abilities are available. Now, these are the release notes from the Boom Beach dev team, from the community manager. I am not making this up. Anyways, at the same time, Seekers and Critter Launchers have been taken offline for tuning. More on that soon. In their stead, yes, they use the word stead, there are some experimental abilities such as the beloved hack and the slightly less beloved explosive drones. Now, reading between the lines on that, explosive drones are possibly the worst temporary gunboat ability, except for at the start of this season. Again, more on that in a second. The season will last from October 30th to November 19th. That's a 3-week season. Let's get into it. Let's dig in. I had some images up on my screen to read from. You couldn't see any of those, so at least you had these nice smiley minds in a nice smiley face. Let's get into that tech details, see what's going on. So as you can see here, we've got mines, we've got those explosive drones. Now, quick note here, explosive drones, when you upgrade them, yes, you get extra tech level, but that's not all. This UI, in my opinion, is broken. I've already made a ticket with the team. If you click on that eye, notice they do 14,270 damage. If we upgrade them using all of the tokens I've just given myself on the dev build, let's upgrade them to max. You'll notice that if we click on them, all of a sudden, that damage per second is suddenly visible. 20,000 damage per second. And you can see that that is 2,000 damage per shot. That means, I'm guessing we're getting, I don't know. We'll get into that in a second. Anyways, now these troops, the clone riflemen. And by the way, these are the only troops you're going to get for a long time. If we scroll over here, yes, Grenadiers may be a thing, but notice there's nothing until heavies. And then even then, are you really going that far off the path to get heavies? Probably not. So we got to keep scrolling. Oh, yay, we get medics. Still scrolling. Yay, Zukas. Still, my friends, scrolling. Like, where are all of the troops? It is bananas. There is nothing until Laser Rangers and Bombardiers. It seems like a mistake almost, but it's not. So we are going to be pushing all of this distance using likely clone riflemen. My mind is like, this has to be a defensive season, right? And again, this sneak peek is coming out a week early. So if you guys have questions about things you'd like to see, do let me know. What I'm going to do before the end of this sneak peek is load up all of these defenses and drop clone riflemen against them and see how well they do. Just a reminder, by the way, clone riflemen, the initial ones, follow flares. The ones that die, those like tier 2, tier 3 clone riflemen, do not follow flares. So there's some potential for some very cool hits. Also, you'll notice that the fact is these explosive drones, if they have the chance to explode, will kill some engine rooms. But without smoke, they possibly won't explode because there's going to be machine guns and flamethrowers and mortars and mines and shock mines trying to explode them. So it's going to be a very interesting beginning of the season. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I just charged my second device. Do stick around. We will do some 2 engine room hits, and then maybe we'll go all the way to like here. I mean, this is like, what is this? So we got 2, 3, 4, at 5 engine rooms, you might still only have clone riflemen, which means realistically it's going to be rocket choppas. I don't see any other way that any other, like no other troops are even beginning to be useful. So this season, I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm leaning in towards the defensive side just based on my gut. And my gut has a week for you guys to shoot it down, to suggest other ideas, to throw other tech trees towards it. And I don't have a giant gut, but there's definitely enough room for all of that stuff to be thrown at it. Back to here, these, where did we have here? We had these crystal clitters, as I like to call them, completely useless. But there is troop health there. Building health way off the beaten path as well. So when you get these guys, where is Smoke at? Smoke is Smoke even in the season? Smoke, I feel like I'm glossing over it. Is Smoke gone too? Gonna go slow. There's the flare. There's the glitters. Troop health, building health. I'm not seeing Smoke, my friends. So maybe, just maybe, with taking out the Seekers. By the way, the critter launchers, I am glad they are out. Critter launchers cost less than flamethrowers to max. Like, they are absolutely, absolutely cheap, and they just absolutely pack a punch. So I submitted a list of values between shock launchers and rocket launchers that critter launchers should be worth. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Anyways, we are going to get back on track with this sneak peek, a little bit off the rails, recording this late Friday night, which is not a great idea, but we're going to get into troop damage. We're going to get into shock mines, into that next engine room. So there's going to be a lot at the 2 engine room level. As per usual, you want to get out of there. We're going to get flares, which, like I said, flares and clone riflemen is a weird combo. Tick 3. We're going to keep moving forwards. I don't think that's necessarily the best idea when it comes to this season, but at least we get those extra machine guns. Probably going to go get building damage. Out come the boom mines, troop damage. I'm going to pause right here. Okay, so we have not seen stats like this in many seasons. There is 200% GBE. I can't remember the last time we had 200% GBE. 1, 2, 3, all the way at the end is number 4. We've got 150% troop damage, and then 100% on the troop health, and building damage. So yes, it is a little bit geared towards offense, but the troops are just missing, like absolutely missing. Those heavy choppas are off the path, and to go with them, those heavies are way off the path. So likely going to be a late push for those heavies and that extra troop health. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's have a look at some more decking just to see if they've managed to keep that interesting. Yeah, that's pretty darn interesting, I gotta say. We've got way spread out. We can get engine rooms north, east, south, and west, just absolutely spread out. Long distance to go there. Keeping on pushing. We'll show more of the deck in a little bit. This path seems to be fairly straightforward, though. You're gonna go up if you want to get to those rocket launchers. You're going to go down if you want to just keep rushing towards heavy choppas. I think if you can get towards heavy choppas or laser rangers, it's going to be a big game changer, just based on the absolute lack of troops. Mechs might be interesting, but again, just cruising along this quickest possible path, getting into that next engine room, having a look at the decking. We are on this one big, ugly P1, P2 deck so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 engine rooms. Let's get into that 7th just so we can see how hideous this is getting. Look how late the shock bomb is. That is, like, I don't remember a shock bomb ever being this late. So A, no smoke. B, super late shock. Again, this is just screaming bear down. build your base, defend, defend, defend. One shock launcher there versus one rocket launcher. I think it's got to be 2 rocket launchers to 1 shock launcher should be the proper ratio. Anyways, moving along, I think a lot of people are going to go bombardiers. I think they're going to get crushed with those things. Anyways, next engine room, what do you got for us? Yeah, ugly P1, P2 ramp. Nothing super duper sexy there on the decking side. I do like they've got 3 decent holes, but again, nothing super fancy there. Barrage, yay, hurrah. Did we even have artillery back here somewhere? There's a lot of things missing this season. No artillery, no smoke, late shock bomb, no seekers, no critter launchers. I'm still leaning big time defensive. Defense. Defense. Going for that shock blaster. Critters, again, super late. I think the explosive charge might be the MVP or the what does they call? They call the the hero that no one expected, or come on, what is that called? The unsung. I told you it's late. The unsung hero. I think the critter. These explosive drones might be the unsung hero of the early season. And then getting into that Doom Cannon, I don't think there's any sky shields early on, is there? No sky shield there, no sky shield there. There's like no prototypes early on, and it's going to be crazy interesting. I can't wait. The fact that everyone has a week to plan for this is super, super interesting. That remote hack is going to be, by the way, don't upgrade this remote hack early on. Like remote hack, you get 11.5 seconds. Let's upgrade it. Oh, you actually get an extra 1 second. The building will be long dead, so there is no point spending these tokens. This is a complete dumb upgrade, just like that cryo bomb upgrade in previous seasons. Yes, the remote defib will be interesting. That will give you the opportunity to drop troops at the back engine room, which could be very, very, very neat. Looking forward to that. But is that going to be too little too late? Who knows? I am going to completely and utterly bulk up these defenses. We will then come back. I'm just going to upgrade all of this stuff. And then we're just going to throw it all out there and see what sticks. Like completely and utterly upgrading all of this stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to reset this account and we'll do an attack. Okay, I have maxed out all of my offensive capabilities. We're going to see what the heck we can do here. See if we can take this base down. Notice that I did max grenadiers. Not sure that these clone rifles are going to be enough on their own. What you're going to see is dropping this at the back, hitting the shock mines. Are they actually going to explode? Yeah, we actually got some explosions out of that. So throwing 2 towards the back, maybe, just maybe, we can get that to explode. That looks very, very promising. But as you can see here, if we throw all of our GBE towards those things, the machine guns and flamethrowers are going to explode them. So we're getting no value out of those at all, unless you can get them to run towards it. But again, holding these things back, as my cat goes absolutely insane running around my office. Anyways, holding these things back, letting those clone rifles hit the mines. By clones, I mean the pink ones, the ones that pop out like popcorn. The first ones are the strongest, the second ones are half as strong, and the third ones are just like fighting with wet noodles. Anyways, trying to fight our way through this. You can't really use these things to clear mines because they shock in place, but I'll show you a little trick for that as well. So yes, we did manage to walk through a fully upgraded defensive base, and no, that fully upgraded defensive base was not super duper well built, but you get the basic idea that these clone riflemen are nothing to be trifled with. We'll do one more hit, and I'm going to show you guys how I foresee this going with these explosive drones. Throwing them out willy-nilly without smoke, without cryo bombs, without those crystal shields, not gonna go so well. But what you can do, for example, is drop all of your clone riflemen up the front, and then by dropping these things back here, they're just gonna sit there, they're gonna freeze, then they're gonna come unfrozen, and they're just gonna rush forward and help you explode all of the buildings. So do consider throwing these behind your troops. That way they're just gonna, my cat is going insane at the moment, they're gonna run forward and blow up things. I don't know off the top of my head if they do friendly fire or not. That is on my list of things to check, so do consider subscribing, checking back here. They do clear mines, they do clear shock mines, but it takes a little bit. As you can see, those guys are still frozen. They have not come unthawed from the shock mine. There's the extra damage, so do consider throwing some mines and or shock mines around your engine room. Gonna be a very interesting season. Okay, one more battle. I have gone everything on the offensive side of 3 engine room and everything on the defensive side of 3 engine rooms. Let me know if this is helpful at all in helping you figure out your path for the upcoming season. Again, ignoring the fact that you could just throw things towards the back, we are going to throw in 1 boat of Tick 1 medics just to see how useful that is. Out come the medics, out come these green things. By the way, these green things, throw them towards the back. They will clear mines. They will run all the way forward towards your troops. So with the useless explosive drones, throw them behind your troops. With the useless green critter things, throw them in front of your troops, and between the two of them you should be able to get your troops going in the general right direction, and nothing is stopping these clone riflemen. They are just walking through the fully defensive. By the way, this has all of the building health, all of the defensive building damage, so you will need to be clever about where you place your buildings, because these clone riflemen do not stop shooting for anything. Yes, we've started to get down. I have not used any flares, not used any strategies. I threw those silly crystal clitters all over the place willy-nilly, and we still have troops moving forwards and shooting buildings. And yes, indeed, this is going to be slow, but don't sleep on clone riflemen. They're a fairly ridiculously strong troop, and I won't leave you guys to watch this as they get popped and exploded, but do know that it's not an awful troop. Yes, defense will probably work better, but again, that's only because these clone riflemen are so silly and slow. And maybe you're going to invest in grenadiers because you just get so sick and tired of waiting for clone riflemen. Maybe it's like 1 boat of clone riflemen out front with grenadiers in behind. Not a bad idea considering how far it is until we get to another troop. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking of, what you're planning, what else you'd like to see from this sneak peek. The fact that this is out a week early means that maybe, just maybe, I can show you guys. And by the way, quick note, you remember these shield projectors, right? Throwing that on top of the explosive drones means that the explosive drones explode twice. I'm assuming that's why they did not include smoke in this season, or why I can't find smoke in this season. One last thing I wanted to try though is hacking an engine room. It can't work, can it? Okay, we are on to a 3-game win streak. I have gone all the way to the end of the queue, so not only have I faced the exact same opponent twice in a row, I'm also at the 7 engine room level versus the 3 engine room level. So this find opponent is going to spin for a long while. This is like the exact end of the spectrum. It does work. You will eventually, if there's only 2 people playing warships, you will eventually get a match, but gosh, if it doesn't try otherwise. So first of all, we are going to prove to ourselves the remote hack does work, which should be fairly obvious. We remote hacked the flamethrower, and sure enough, the flamethrower is gone. This is only tick 1 on the remote hack. No need to upgrade it. This is where things will... Yeah, it's not that Mega Crab. Remember that Mega Crab when things were super fun and you could just remote hack the power core? That is not the case here. You can't hack damage amplifiers. You can't hack shield generators. Not that we have them in warships. You can hack buildings, but that's about it. So I don't know if you want to consider that to be a sad trombone or not, but whatever tickles your fancy. This season has a whole bunch of different things, and Kavan is not here. Let me know what you think about my thumbnail. Let me know what you think about the fact that we're using clone riflemen basically forever. Very, very, very excited to get myself some of those shock bombs now that we haven't had them for like 5 or 6 engine rooms. Really, really gonna miss smoke this season. But personally, I think I'd rather have no smoke than no flare. I think this season though, man, would it ever be good. I should have used the crystal projector just so you guys could see exactly what I'm talking about as far as getting those things to explode twice. So do use that to your advantage. It is going to be a big, big, big deal if you can get those things to explode twice. Obviously, you don't need barrage to unfreeze, so we will be trying to barrage some things. Maybe with 200% GBE, barrage will be useful. I don't know. Lots and lots of GBE abilities. I'm going to call it quits right about there, though, because I started this very late. Spent a lot of time staring at the tech tree, but not a lot of time recording. So my problem, hopefully that didn't come through in the recording, though, because there's a lot of interesting things to come this season. Anyways, as our clone riflemen just peter on out. Maybe one of them is going to be called Peter. We know we've got Heather for the Zukas. Maybe Peter is one of those clone riflemen. We have jumped into that next chest. Dr. Kavan is on vacation, and no one vacations quite like a dentist. We all know that. Anyways, as always, do throw code ZMOT into that shop. Thank you for coming in, commenting, giving me suggestions on Season 52. Let me know what you think about those decks, how you've liked back-to-back Mega Crabs, and more importantly, just hit me up in the comments. Let me know how things are going with you. Are you going trick-or-treating? Are you going to go as a skeleton, or maybe as a pumpkin face, or a witch, or a ghoul, or a bat, or something in between? Have you noticed those bats, by the way? I didn't notice those until recently. They are so hard to find. Maybe my eyes are just awful. I'm ZMOT. Thank you for coming in. Like and share and subscribe, and do click those bell, because maybe, just maybe, some more sneakage of the peakage coming soon. I'm ZMOT. Thanks for coming in. Peace.